Vosmek. I hate PowerPoint, I hate podiums. So I'm going to ask, can you hear me if I'm walking over here and I actually move away from microphone?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, good. So it's really good to meet you. Why am I here? I like to start my conversation to lend a little bit of credibility to what I have to say, because I actually am used to going after entrepreneurs. It's a bit intimidating to go before them. But I am CEO of Astia, have been since 2007, and with the organization since 2004. Astia is a global organization that works with high-growth companies as they're growing their business, raising capital, and they're pursuing their exit. What I should highlight about Astia, though, is that we are a nonprofit. The reason we're a nonprofit is that we work with women-led high-growth companies. And so now you're going to say, well, why does this matter to you? Because the majority of you in the audience don't fit my criteria. But here's why you should want to fit my criteria. For the companies that qualify for Astia and who actually get to know us and what I'm about to talk to you about tonight, greater than 60% of them achieve funding or an exit within 1 year. Now, in the broader market, you're going to hear from an entrepreneur about how hard that hurdle is, but I'll just give you the statistic. It's less than 1% likelihood for you to be successful within a year if you were to do it without some of the fundamentals that I'm going to speak about. And the other reason that you should care about it is there's some great research that shows that if you have a woman on your founding team, you're going to outperform your counterparts that don't. So there. Okay, now I've given you the reasons to listen to me. And I have just one message. And so what I'd really like to do is give you the word and then tell you why it matters. And it's not venture capital, and it's not angel investment, and it's not exit. The one word that matters on your entire journey, and for those of you who are entrepreneurs in the room, I need a raise of hand, because I need to make sure to not be lecturing you and instead looking for nods. Good, good, good. So you know this. It is about relationships. High-growth businesses live and die by the relationships. The individual does not scale. And what is unique about high-growth businesses is that those relationships deliver everything that will determine your success. Great ideas have gone down in flames because the right people didn't hear about, know about, love, adore, and otherwise align with great ideas. And in the converse is true as well. Some of the most interesting, okay ideas have done exceptionally well, some that are even thinking of going public very soon in the US. But it's all about those relationships. And I'm famous for talking about those relationships because I am not an entrepreneur. My background is public policy. I take a look at markets, I take a look at how they behave, and I like to look at things critically and see what determines success within a market. And what I've learned about high-growth entrepreneurship and relationships is that there are absolute social norms, and I hope my American accent can work there, social normative behaviors, socially normal stuff that you have to do and you must comply with. And if you break these rules, like I'm doing tonight by stepping away from the microphone and daring to come over here and I'm going to ask people questions, which is also breaking a social norm. But if you break those social norms, you risk business failure in a way that can directly not just impact you, your business, but it can impact your future and your ability, like our entrepreneur that you're going to hear from, to do it again. And your goal as an entrepreneur can't just be about what's happening today. It has to be about what happens in the future, what you're driving towards, and even the beyond. So let's talk about what those social norms are, because they are not intuitive. I wrote a blog about it for VentureBeat called Noob and Other Words Worth Thinking About. Who are the video gamers in the room? There must be someone that plays World of Warcraft. Where are you? Oh, love you people. What are you? Are you mage? I'm a mage. What are you? You gotta confess. What? Anyone World of Warcraft? You raised your hand. Did you play World of Warcraft?
I don't play World of Warcraft, but I play a lot of other games.
What game do you love?
Currently, there's a lot of gangster-related games on There
are. And I don't play them, but tell me, what is it socially based gangster game?
There's a game called Big Time Gangster.
Yes, yes. Right. Big Time Gangster. So tell me, what is the objective in Big Time Gangster?
You have to grow your mafia family.
That's what we are talking about. Thank you. Bless you for being in the audience. audience, because I bet in this gangsta game, there are some social norms that you must adhere to. And number one is when you're new to that society, ask before you try and do. Ask. Okay, you're an entrepreneur. What do you mean ask? I mean, you're about to hear from an entrepreneur tonight. I think the best way to start any journey is to find someone who's been there, done that. Now, a hurdle in the European market, because Astia, as I mentioned, is global, is finding those serial entrepreneurs. But the great part is you have them. They're harder to find, but find them. Because asking probative questions is the best way to start whatever the journey is, but especially fundraising. And I was asked to talk specifically about fundraising, but by the way, that will serve you well on growing your business and exiting your business as well. This is not intuitive stuff. High growth businesses are not something that you're born in your gene makeup to do. But there are wheels already created, there are journeys that have already been gone down, and there are definitely gangstas out there who will shoot you if you do it wrong. So why not find someone who's been there before you and seek a bit of counsel? But see, the hurdle with entrepreneurs, because I pride myself on being a bit of an entrepreneur myself, is we absolutely know what we're doing. So it's harder for us to remember to ask questions because we're passionate, we're driven, and we know where we're going, and the whole rest of the world is wrong when they don't invest in us. But all of that is true. It's still important to engage the world in a probative manner and ask before you do. Okay, so that's number one in our social world of who are the other gamers? I need another game because I don't know this gangsta one. You can only take it so far. I saw someone else raise their hand. There must be someone. Okay, a board game. Any of you play card games, board games?
I'm sorry, I play Angry Birds.
You play Angry Birds. Love Angry Birds. Anyone else here play Angry Birds? See, we love Angry Birds. Talk about great entrepreneurs. What did they build that on a dime and selling it for how much? And we're all paying for it, aren't we? I upgraded to the premium almost within an hour. Did you? Yeah. Angry Birds is a good game. For those of you who don't know it, download it to your iPod. Oh, you can't have your phones out right now, right? Okay, so later, download it later. It's a fantastic game. You'll thank us all later. Well, let me think about how the next rule applies to Angry Birds, because actually Angry Birds, the only rule is just, keep trying. Okay, maybe that works. The other rule is actually to give back. High growth entrepreneurship is a pretty small ecosystem globally. And what I have found time and again is that serial entrepreneurs, exceptional entrepreneurs that have seen their exits, know what that means. They know what give back means. And actually, give back is part of their drive as well. They're rarely motivated by the money associated with their exit, although it becomes very nice, and it is certainly wonderful. But those truly exceptional entrepreneurs that really have it in their core and their passion understand the notion of giving back. And for first-time entrepreneurs, it's absolutely critical that you figure out what your value is to this ecosystem that we're talking about. Because if you approach every single person you meet with your ask, I'm doing a business, it's called Angry Birds, would you invest in it? Because I really love this game and it's really, really fantastic and you get to kill birds and it's really, really cool. Does it help you? Do you feel good about it? Are you interested?
It's not my game.
Not my game, exactly. But if instead I were to approach you and say, so what's your name?
David.
David, nice to meet you. And what do you do?
I'm a corporate nomad. I'm an accountant.
You're an accountant?
Yep.
Very good to meet you. So what kind of companies do you work with? Clients do you have?
Companies that are in pain.
Pain?
Yes.
Oh, aren't we all? Yeah.
I like to help.
Like to help. And how do you find most of the businesses that you like to work with?
By having a good database.
Tell me more. What does that mean to have a good database?
It means that you start up with no database, and you work very hard, and you ring people, you talk to them, you research, you make the opportunities. It's a mixture of
Wonderful.
that.
Well, David, I'd actually like to get to know you because I work with high-growth startups, and they grow pretty quickly, and they obviously would need someone of your expertise and talent. And what I'd like to do is actually get to know your work a little bit better so that I could have you as a resource to refer companies to.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much.
And you know, down the road as you get to know me, I'd love to actually introduce you to my idea that I'm thinking about and see if it might be interesting to you.
Okay.
I think that there's a way to engage people that doesn't have to do with you, but does have to do with you. And what I was trying to role model there was that it's really hard to sell yourself and to get people to believe in you if you haven't first started with caring about who they are and what they're about. All of this is so simple and so straightforward, but within this space that we're talking about, raising venture capital, raising private equity, raising investment for your business, this behavior matters, and it becomes the social norm for how you must conduct yourself. And I think that the final lesson that I have from the gaming community that I like to borrow is you need to know your terms. And this is an area that I'm always struck, it is truly the only difference between entrepreneurs in Silicon Valley and the rest of the entrepreneurs around the globe that we work with. And I work with entrepreneurs in New Zealand, China, India, Middle America, Central America, Canada, all over Europe. Truly the only difference is that if you come out of Silicon Valley, you already know what a term sheet is. I think it's in our water, and as you're drinking it, it says Series A, oh, I know what it is. Series B, know what it is. But everywhere else, these terms aren't known, and that's okay. I want to give everyone permission to not know what a Series A is. And I want to give everyone permission to not know what a VC is. But the important thing is that you do learn what they are, even if you never pursue them. Because I believe entrepreneurs have opportunities that they often don't pursue just for the lack of knowing. And so what a great thing to actually know that some companies actually raise money from other individuals who are in the business of investing in businesses and losing that money, rather than on your credit card or on your debit card or on your kid's college account. And this relates in particular to the women entrepreneurs in the room that I'm going to highlight one gender difference. I seldom talk about gender differences, but this one matters hugely, is that in particular, women tend to underfund their businesses. So this rule becomes especially important for women here in the UK, who I just read a report on. None of you in the UK right now are raising venture capital. And I believe that that's not right. I actually believe that some of you should be. Now I'm told there are quite a number of men raising venture capital in the UK, so good, you're doing very well and you're on the right path. Raise that money, grow your businesses, have some lovely exits. We like those. They contribute to the economy. And women, I just need you to learn about it. It's all learnable, knowable, discoverable, and it's not the rocket science. The rocket science is that entrepreneurial endeavor that first got you to your idea, that got you to this brilliant thing that attracted others to your idea. Raising money is actually very learnable. And in my closing remarks, I am going to tell you how you learn it. And it goes back to the first. It's why you're asking your probative questions. Find the people in your ecosystem that speak the language. Learn the language, master the language before you try and engage in the process. I love events like this, when you bring together key people from the ecosystem. I'm really grateful that RBS and FDU has put this together, because tonight you're engaging with people that you can ask the questions of. They've put themselves forward as people to ask the questions of. They may not have all the answers. I think it was said really well in our pre-panel. But they'll know the people to connect you with. And it goes back to rule number one, relationships. The individual is not scalable. I'm done. I'm going to let you move on.